gonna show it.
It's gonna still see
He's
it.
gonna see it. You ain't gonna show yourself?
Yeah, you showed me I was gonna take it way back here. I can't see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see right now what it says. Orientation lock.
Yeah, you want me
You
to
wanna unlock your thing?
what you mean?
Cause the orientation is locked on your phone. So like it's gonna show this way, but maybe you gotta let's see. Where is it at? Orientation. Set. Which reconnect. Okay. No, that's a different one. Hmm.
I can't even see what you're doing, so I have no.
I'm trying to like I don't know if you have like cause it's saying that it's locked, so your device need to go back. So the only way it's gonna record if it goes that way.
That's if it goes up. Yeah, yeah. That's why I say rotate device. Yeah. Sometimes on YouTube you can't do that. Maybe TikTok I do. But,
Hmm.
but that's all good. Did you start it back up? Oh, it's
Yeah,
still.
it's fine.
So let's see. Get back here far enough. Like I said, I can't see nothing.
Yeah, I can
And
see.
I didn't even bring my headset. See, that's why I wanted my little box, because then I know they can pick us up everything. But it's all good. They can still hear us. They can still hear us. And they all know who it is. They all know me. They all know me. So those that don't know me can't know me. It ain't about knowing me. It's about hearing me. It ain't about the messenger. It's about the message that the messenger is bringing. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't nobody, man. Like I was telling them today. Um, I said, I just want to talk about us. I want to talk to my people. I said, but who's ever in the room, if you ain't my people, that's okay. You can stay. Maybe you can hear something that'll make you my people. You know what I'm saying? I said, when I say my people, I'm talking about those who are ready to live in love. I'm not talking about skin color, you know, because all skin folks ain't kin folks.
I heard that.
You know, I said, so I'm talking about my people who are ready to live in love, ready for change, true love. And then I went into who we are as far as gods, you know.
Hmm.
I think I used two scriptures to get them. I used 17:3, where they say,
What up?
John
John.
17:3, where it said, to know God, this is the truth, to know the true God. And it says, wait, to know the true God, you.
Is it God or Yahweh?
No, it said,
No, I'm just talking in general though. Is Yahweh God? Is it the same thing?
no, not for me, not for me. Yahweh is just a name. Um, most people don't even look up what it means. All names have meanings behind them,
Yeah, it means to become.
you know. So, you know, I tell people God has many names that people use. It depends on where you at,
Of course.
you know. But I'm talking about the one true God that everybody is in tune to, no matter what name you give him. I want to give him his true name.
Mm.
I said, because I'm talking about the spirit, the great father and mother. I'm talking about the spirit that created us. That was the great father and mother spirit. It's one spirit.
Hmm.
It's not two separate spirits. It's one spirit. That's why I say when God, the supreme beings,
Yahweh means one. It talks about being
one. Because,
being one, only one. The meaning of it is one ruler, one God.
yes,
So
it's one God, it's one way, it's one life, it's one people who are one God.
whereas Jesus Christ, like when you think about the Bible doesn't have no one has a last name.
No,
Nobody has a last name, but all of a
no,
sudden Jesus Christ has a last name. Jesus Christ.
no, that's not his name. Christ means anointed.
Hmm.
Before they put Christ in, anointed was there. The son of the anointed one.
Hmm.
The son, the anointed one.
So why did it ask Christ at the end?
Christ means anointed one.
Was it for religion purposes?
It was for the deceived purposes.
What you mean?
because
Oh, deceive. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because we don't study,
True.
we don't research.
You gotta research though.
You know, if it sound good, we go with it. You know, it's terrible, but that's the way it is. So when they hear Christ, most of my people think of Christ as a name,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. I guess we should have went long way and sat on the east side. There's no.
Think so?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So then we can sit on the east side and still should be able to see it.
You can do it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. We still can do it.
I think. If I'm correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see
There
that.
you go. So all these are names.
Mm-hmm.
It's all metaphors.
Yeah.
Speaking about us, like I told people, I said, y'all keep talking about Moses and Elijah and all them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know this is all metaphors to teach us who we are?
Mm-hmm.
What type of spirit is in you? You got the spirit of Elijah, you have the spirit of the evil man.
Mm-hmm.
You got the spirit of your fallen brother who fell out of God's grace, not because he wasn't God. Matter of fact, according to what you read, he was one of the highest. You know what I'm saying? Walking always in the glory of God, but he failed because now he didn't want to just be the God that he was. He wanted to be the God. He wanted to be the main source. He couldn't be the main source because the main source had way more. But the main source created him. How you gonna be that to create you?
Mm-hmm.
So he failed. But not only did he fall, it said that a lot of his brothers fell with him. You know, listening to him, wanting to follow him. That's why the war broke out. And he was kicked out and kicked down. So what is that saying? It's a metaphor. It's like us. When we're first born, we're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We're nothing but love.
Mm-hmm.
And as we grow in this world, we're taught the opposite of love. So we
True.
grow into division.
Mm-hmm.
We're formed and shaped into that, but that wasn't what we was created and formed and shaped in from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we were shaped in the spirit of the one who formed us, the great energy. The great energy that formed everything you see. Now check this out. I'm gonna show you how much that energy is love, and created us in love for himself. So we don't even exist. We think we do. We've been taught we do. So naturally being taught that, that's how we think. But if we do our research, we know we don't. The body that you are in, right? You ever heard people say many times that, you know, there's a body for all of us. That we all got a body. No, there is a body for all the different spirits. But we don't have nothing. Because as I ask people, where were you at when that body was created? What say-so did you have in the creation of that body? What design did you put in? What okay did you give? What make you think that that body is yours when you wasn't even there when it was created? What you just took it? Because you didn't create it. Not only did you not create the body that you call yours, the spirit that's alive in that body is God's. The same one that created the body. So if the spirit that's in the body is God, the supreme being, that supreme force, that supreme energy, and the body belongs to that supreme energy, that supreme force who created everything that you see and don't see, where you at? Where you come in at?
don't exist.
Exist. That's what I'm trying to get people to see. We were created for their purpose, in their image, the image that they chose.
Mhm.
They mold and shape the image that they chose. Then they put a piece of them in all the different bodies that they created.
Mhm.
Like an experiment.
Okay. Makes sense.
To
Cloning.
see what I would do. I wanna create some me.
Mhm.
Now in me, there's a good and an evil. You feel me?
Mhm.
This is God. In God is all things. God create good and evil because in God is good and evil. It's,
Duality.
it's one spirit, duality. Everything is duality. Male and female.
Mhm.
It's the yin and the yang, the life and the death.
Yep.
You see, so as they create themselves, they sit back and watch themselves.
Mhm.
Now, like I tell people, if this great spirit created you, how would it get a message to you if not through the body that it created?
The mind and heart.
But the mind and the heart is in the body that it created. And what gives energy to the mind and the heart that's in that body?
So,
And what gives energy to that soul?
the one that created it.
When he created it. So we still back at that one.
Mhm.
So the only way for that one to speak to his body, his children, he called them his children, and they call them their children because it's their bodies.
Mhm.
They created it, so they could call it what they want. Like they gave you a name. They named you even before you was in the womb of your mother. Who? They who? The great spirit,
Mhm.
the great God. God just means supreme.
Mhm.
The great supreme being, the great energy, that one main force. Now, all of these bodies that's on the earth and everywhere else, the stars, the heaven, which are planets and so on, it's all one body. It's all this one. It's all this.
Mhm.
It's one water. I don't care where I put it at.
It's all one.
It's still all one. When it's time for it to go back, where it go? Right back in the bottom that it come from. So we don't exist and never have existed. We are of God, created by God for God's purpose.
And what is that?
To take the children of this dark world and show them the light of God. The only way since we are God's body, we are to show forth his light.
Mm.
It's all God watching himself.
Okay.
It's all God watching a play that he's already designed and set out for us to do. We're the actors in the play.
Mhm.
So it don't make a difference whether you're good or bad. You're still God.
Yes. Everybody, I feel like everything plays a role.
Yeah, you're still God. And if you're being evil or doing evil at the time, it's because the God in you created you for that purpose. Because when you look at the scriptures and it talks about Pharaoh,
Mhm.
how Pharaoh was hard, but it said that God made it hard. God hard was hard. In other words, the great supreme being that he was a part of, hardness hard. Because the great supreme being could do that because it was a great supreme being in Pharaoh.
So having the spirit of God and you having the evil spirit is designed for a reason.
Now,
When does that change for somebody, or does it change after they serve their purpose or something?
yeah.
So, but
It
what if they
changed
don't want to
after
change
that.
it? Because a lot of people, you can't. I
No.
think we can try to. You can't tell. People
So
don't like
so
being
so
told what to do.
so here's the thing. You can't destroy the spirit, right?
Very true.
You can destroy the body of man, but you can't destroy the spirit. So even though you destroy the body of man, and man is no longer here to do the things he used to do, his spirit still exists.
So what happens? What do you believe happens when you die?
I believe that the spirit that's in me is going back to the Creator. It's going back to connect to that main spirit. I believe
And
that.
the body is left here.
And the body is love because he has many more bodies.
Hmm.
He's got many mansions.
Do you feel like when your spirit goes, do you feel like you can reincarnate?
Feel like you could reincarnate. That's a good statement. You know, different books talk about reincarnation.
Mm.
Other books talk about how you could take upon a different energy. You take that energy and put it into something else, like
That could be
like
a
the
reincarnation.
tree. Right. That's about or a dog or an animal. That could be a reincarnation.
Yeah.
Um, I believe that the spirit is the creator, and if it chooses that it want to take a piece of its spirit and put it in that tree and make that tree walk, it can do it because it's the creator. I know that's me.
I believe that because they talk about trees walking. It's a place in the world that talks about trees walking, and it's the reason why these trees are walking because they change position.
But the trees are also us. It's
Yeah.
for us to learn from because we're just like the trees. You know, that's why when you read the parable where Jesus put mud on the blind man's eyes, the man who had been blind, put mud on his eyes and took some water and washed it off after putting the mud on it. He made the mud and then put it on it. You know how we are like, nigga, what you doing? The fuck you putting that dirt on me for? You know, then they say, after he did that, he washed the mud off and he told the man to open up his eyes. He said, what you see? Now, this was a blind man. And I tell people, you have to think of the metaphor of what he's teaching. What was he blind to? Was he blind to the world or was he blind to God? Not able to see God? I mean, what was he blind? It said he had been blind all his life. So was he blind from seeing God? From seeing love? From seeing truth?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You have to take it how you want to take it. I think the thing is how we, like you said, everything we was taught. So when we growing up and we was reading the Bible, it was portrayed to you in a way. And as you get older, the thing about the situation, what I learned in the church that I go to online is more so, which I understood, just kind of going back to like how I listened to myself talk about God when I was younger, and I listen to myself talk about it now, and it still correlates, and I still feel like I had my own thoughts than what people was teaching me, and I think that's important. Like,
It's very important.
and like you speak
Because
on,
that's truly the real you, which is the God in you.
yeah,
You're letting that God speak out of you. You're letting that God teach you. That don't mean that you're not listening
Yeah.
to the things that other men say. You're taking it, receiving it with gladness, but you're not accepting it as truth. You're going back, you're meditating, you're studying.
You gotta do your research, man.
You're asking the one in you. If this is of you, then show me how this is of you. So I know that, and you know, I'm glad you said it because the way that I find out if anything is of the God that I worship. See, I follow the God of love.
Yep.
Within the great creator, there's two gods. One of love, one of hate.
Which one you gonna be?
Right. So, like I tell people, we are not in control of nothing except for one thing: choice.
Oh, we definitely, for sure. Because at the end of the day, it's like for us, like when you think about love and hate, and you think about how the world is today, you have a choice. You have a choice to walk into the day and be like, hey, I'm gonna show love today. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be kind. No matter how much hate I may receive, I'm gonna choose to walk in this way. And then there's other people that choose
to
hate,
walk
and
out.
it may not be so much of just like hating the world, but they just carry this type of spirit, they carry this type of energy that can be feel like if you are tapped in with yourself and you're one and you trust yourself, you can feel when someone comes
Yes.
around you
Yeah.
and it's not
You can
good,
feel a
and
negative
it's just
spirit.
like and then they might do something, they may say something. Is it something they doing intentional? I don't know, but it's just in them, so they don't know how to control that
Right.
until they find it into themselves. Like, hey, like this doesn't feel right. When you feel bad, I know when me personally, when I feel bad or upset or wrong, I may distance myself because I'm like, I don't want to be around this. I don't want to give this person this type of energy because they don't deserve that. Like if I know that about myself,
And it
I'm
ain't
gonna
so
check
much.
myself.
I don't think it's so much that you don't want to give them the energy. You don't want the energy within you. So you go in solitude to be alone to search within you to see. Okay, now that I know it's here, now it's been shown to me. Now I see it for who it is.
Yeah.
How do I put it in subjection?
Yeah.
How do I get power over it? Because I can't get rid of it.
How do you do that? How do for somebody that is just in a funk, pretty feeling low. Like the thing is, a lot of times we don't recognize that we're depressed. We don't
There's only
recognize.
one way to do it.
How's that?
Want it.
Want it.
Desire.
Mm-hmm.
You have to want it. You have to desire it.
Takes
You
work.
know, yeah, man. And just because you want it and desire, it'll be there for you. But it ain't gonna just poof.
Yeah, and there's gonna be
You
things.
got to work.
Yeah, there's gonna be things that's gonna test you.
I tell people, I say, you know, we're talking about the supreme being who we all feel we're a part of. We all feel we're a part of that spirit. I don't care what type of God or whatever
everybody
you call
feels
it.
it.
Everybody know that they come from some great force. I don't care whether they say they believe in a God or not. They believe in something.
I
You
say
feel
this
what I'm
all
saying?
the time.
Man,
I say this all the time. You believe? I don't care what you
I
believe.
know you
in,
don't believe that you made yourself. You know what I'm saying? You didn't create yourself and you didn't raise yourself. You know, so you come from something.
Yeah.
And if you know you come from your mother and your mother come from her mother, you got to go back to that one main source.
Family tree. What you think about that though? What you think about like DNA finding out your
I
roots?
don't. I think that's a part of the world.
You think it's part of the
I
world?
think that's a part of the way the world keeps, part of the way the adversary keep division. Now the adversary, and I say the world, that's also us. That's the disagreeables of us. That's also, they call them the jinns.
Okay.
Which are the fallen ones. But remember, they're fallen. It don't mean that they don't have knowledge. They know about the goodness.
Yeah.
They walked in the goodness. So they know how to deceive you. They know how to play the word game on you. You know what I'm saying? They know that you're creatures of feel good, so they know if they bring. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They.
It's tough though.
These beings are the creators of us.
It's tough. I can see, like, I think about it today. I think about it with the kids, and I always spoke on how children was the future.
Yes.
And
yes, I
but
spoke about that today. Yes.
When you see it now, like when you see it, like I see
how?
it unfolding. Like I can only speak on basketball. Let's just speak on the basketball subject about it. So you're seeing, even just in general. So you got social media, they're creating content creators. And it's like, I remember you said, he was like, I ain't trying to be a content creator. That's a job. And it is, because, and a lot of people enjoy being in front of the cameras all day, talking, creating content for people. And that's, and now you get the luxury of getting paid for it. It's a beautiful thing. Good. With basketball, it's so many opportunities with this NIL deal, with the transfer port. It gives opportunities, but also I think what some people are doing, what I'm researching and understanding, some people are given the knowledge to put it in structure to make it for the best of the child, to be able to, you're going to receive all these blessings, to be able to navigate in this world and to know how to navigate in this world. But there's also people that don't really care about that, and just like, hey, we're going to give the money out to all the kids and they're just going to run it down. Because if they're the future and they have all this money, all this opportunity, all these things, and they don't have no type of idea or structure, it's going to crash and burn quick.
There you go. Now here's the thing, and speaking of it in that form, in that fashion. when you think of it in that form and that fashion, you have to think about us and put us in that place, in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What they're not being taught in the game is life.
Life experiences.
That,
Sure.
that not just life experience, because life experiences, it's a lot of things you don't want to. If I talk about life experience, there ain't nothing in life that I experienced that I could say was good, except for the love that I received from mom and dad and my family members. You feel what I'm saying? Anything beside that wasn't good. So I want to throw out life experience for a little second. I want to take that out. When I say not being taught life, not being taught that which sustains life. Do you feel when I say sustain life, like what sustains life? Love. Love of your people, love of one another. So we got to keep it on us because everything is about us. So it's the love of one another. I'm not talking about the love of the world. I'm not talking about the love of greed. I'm not talking about the love of selfishness. I'm talking about true divine love. You got brothers and sisters, you got family, you love them. You fight with them. You argue with them. You do everything with them. But you love them.
True.
That's the love I'm talking about. The love that says, "Oh, I can't stand you, but I'm going to die for you if somebody put their hands on you."
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's not that I don't love you when I said that. It's just that I don't like the way that you're walking right now. I'm not in agreement with that. So that kind of brings a division in between us. So our children are not taught how to push that away and not have that division arise in us. Our children are not taught that they are connected one to another, that they are a part, that spirit that's in them is in all of them. It's the same spirit. So, bro, listen to me when I say that. That means we're one body. That means you're me and I'm you. That means if I smack you, I'm smacking me. You feel what I'm saying? If I cut off your hand, I'm cutting off mine. We're connected, whether you see it or not. Because when I cut you off, I cut a part of me off. I cut a part of God off. Because God is us. So if I don't love you as I love me, I'm not loving God. Because I'm not loving us. You can't love God without loving God's children. They tell you that all through the book. So that means you got to love one another. That's not being taught in this world. This world teaches division. This world teaches competition, bro. Yeah. Basketball shouldn't be about competition. It should be about enjoyment and fitness. You feel what I'm saying? It shouldn't be about money. Why are you making money on somebody running around on the court who really started doing this because of the love that they had for it?
Yeah.
Now you didn't take the love that they had for it and made them a slave to it because you want to make money out of it. Now it's no longer fun to play anymore because now you done added all these rules and stuff to it. But when we was playing in the hood, it was fun.
Yeah. For sure.
You feel what I'm saying? So they didn't taken all that away and put the money there. Money is, money is the root to all evil. The root to all evil. Not some evil, all evil. You kill, you steal, you lie, you cheat, you deceive, you do it all for money.
Yeah, I'm
All for the
saying you
greed
can
of
see
money.
that. You can see that just now.
You know, so when we begin to teach that to our children at a young age, they begin to come up as rebels against the love of the money, the ways of the world. And as they grow up, they connect with other rebels like them. Because God was a revolutionary, bro. The Christ that they talk about, he was a revolutionary. He didn't go with the system. He went against the system. He didn't go with the preachers and the teachers back in the day. He denounced them. Call them dogs, wolves, and sheep's clothing. Because they was dividing the people. They was doing everything to keep the people divided because they knew as long as they keep the people divided, they have power.
That's simple.
Simple. And we know that. But here's the thing. They done divided us for so long.
For years.
They done lied to us for so long.
For years.
we're afraid to believe that we are gods and take the
Absolutely.
responsibility for our own wrongs and
Absolutely.
correct them. We're
Yesterday,
waiting for somebody else to correct our wrongs.
yesterday I was in Bible study and they was talking about there's a lot of couple verses I got them written down, but I can see them real quick. Hold on. Where it's at? Where it's at? Where it's at? Where it's at?
Peace and love to everyone that comes in the room. We want to thank y'all for coming in. I can't really see the screen because of the sun, but I know y'all there. Peace and love. Y'all know what we talk about every time we talk about the unification, the love of us as a people. We talk about the true gods, us, no other God. So if you come and speak about the true God, the God that is in you, you come to the right place. But if you come to hear about some fictitious God that's coming down to save you, this is not the place, because the only God that's going to save you is you.
So, the topic was about why we don't think we have the same power. And one of the verses we was talking through was 2 Peter first chapter, verse 20, and it talks about the prophet's interpretation of things, and it was coming, and it said it's coming from the Spirit of God. So, it made me think about if speaking from God, if we're coming, like everybody that's in the Bible, or just in general, because we're naturally, we're God's ourselves, so we're coming from the Spirit of God. And so when we're speaking, and his question was, why do we not believe we have the same power? In Ezekiel 36:27, it talks about how God's Spirit is in us. So therefore, when you think about us not having the same power, why you don't feel like, or why you are afraid to think that you have the same power as a God, yes, the power is within us, because God he just said it. He said the Spirit is within him. In the other verse, he said the interpretation of everybody that spoke is from the Spirit of God.
Right.
So with that being said, like the pastor said, God is in everything,
Yeah.
and even in us. For me,
Yeah.
like that's why I said it's even in us.
Yeah.
So when you think about your thoughts, when you think about your words, when you're thinking about, when you're just sitting there in your solitude and you're quiet and you're having these thoughts in your head, this is your speaking to yourself.
Yes,
This is
that's
you using,
God
this
speaking.
is using your voice.
That's your higher self
Yeah.
speaking to your lower self.
Yeah. So
listen, that's the God in you, your higher self, speaking to your lower self, that devil in you, that evilness in you. And when I say devil, I just mean that devilish spirit, that evil spirit, the one that's sitting there plotting to do wrong, the one that wants to lie to his mother and his father, the one that wants to go against that righteous nature. You know what's right because God is in you. You know what's right. Your conscience bothers you when you go to do wrong. That's God speaking to you, because God is, but you refuse to listen. Come on now. It don't go no farther than that. It all starts within us. It all ends right back and ends with us. And it all ends. The final conclusion, even if you look at the in Ecclesiastes and stuff, they say the final conclusion is love.
It's always love. That's why I
For
started
y'all
Real
didn't
Heart.
say, I said the final conclusion is love. I forget that was far away. They probably didn't hear that. Like, what they whispering about?
Nah, of course, it's just you have to understand that, and that's what I understood when I was at a low point, when I was down, and I feel the first thing I feel like I needed was the first thing I knew I was missing was love, and so that's why I started Real
You was
Heart,
missing God.
and that's why I wanted people to feel that. I wanted people to know that there is somebody that is walking around this earth that loves you.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna show you love. That if you meet this person, they're gonna give it. And that's like, for me, that's what Real Heart is about. So it's just when I think about how the world is.
But now love is not what the average person can see of love. Let me add this. Love is also correction.
Love
is instruction.
Love is not what I'm saying. When people think of love, they think it's just about a relationship, which is part of it is. But love is very complex, because love comes with a lot of things, like you just said. There's times where you're in love with somebody, or you love a person, and they do something, and it strikes you. But the fact that you love this person, you have love in you. It's a different way that you have to operate. You can either operate in, I'm going to get back.
That's the flesh.
Or you can operate as, you know what? No matter what's going on, I'm going to love you. But I also am going to love myself, and probably going to separate myself from the situation, because you have to set boundaries. You have to love people from a distance.
So now here's the question I would have.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in separation. You separate the good from the evil.
Mm-hmm.
You separate the negative from the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Separation is something that we need, which is hard sometimes to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're talking about love. Because we got people in our family who are totally opposite of us, but yet it's hard to separate ourselves from them.
Mm-hmm.
But we know we should be, and we do it on the side because we don't go around them that much or don't allow them to come around us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's a separation. But more to the separation is, how do you come together?
It's in every situation.
How do you work out your difference? Because I love what the scripture says when they talk about relationships. We're married to one another.
Mm-hmm.
That's what God said. We're married. The bride, the bridegroom talks all about that, right? So God is always putting you together as a unit, putting us together as a unit. Then he goes to say, Christ come along, the anointed one, who's supposed to be a son, meaning that he was just the word of God, like we are.
Yep.
He came along and said, look, bro, he's talked about Moses and everything. He came along and tried to explain to us that the law that Moses gave when it came to divorce was from Moses, not from the Creator. And then he told me, he said, Moses gave you that law because of the hardness of your heart. The law was the law. The law was to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
The law was to understand that, like, look, I'm going through it now learning some things. The law was to understand that, hey, didn't you once do wrong?
For sure.
Didn't you once make a mistake?
Yep. You gotta learn to love people.
Wasn't
man.
I still there for you? Did I cut myself off from you? So why are you cutting yourself off from them? How do you know that the things you do won't change them? You see what I'm saying? But instead, you want to cut yourself off from them, cut them off from you. Now that you didn't cut them off from you, what you do is you open up the door for the devil to come in, which means you open up the door for all sorts of evil to come in. When just you being there, sure, you might have not been able to stop them in the actions or change that action itself, but just you being around was a certain amount of protection. Now that you're gone, they don't even have that protection no more. Now that you done separated yourself and left the one that you was connected to, I don't care if it's family, wife, child, or whatever, you just separated yourself from God. You know, people say when you grow up and you get married, you're supposed to go off and raise your own family. Yeah, but you don't leave the family that you have.
Family is family. Family is everything. That's
what you do is you just add on to the family to make the family bigger, because the family
comes together.
Because everybody is family.
Everybody.
You said it right there. Because everybody is family.
And family is important.
And it's the most. Family is the foundation that holds this world together. If you take away family, there's nothing on. Family holds the foundation of unity, loving one another, working together with one another, building with one another, creating with one another. Like you know what I'm saying?
Your family gonna be whoever comes in you that you come close and
family don't have anything to do with the color.
Not at all.
It don't have anything to do with the nationality.
Not at all.
It don't have anything to do with where you from, where you at, where you're going. Family has to do with you connecting in your spirits, having the same outlook. I'm for love. I'm for doing whatever it takes to create that love that I see in God.
Yep.
I want to be perfect in that love. And I want someone with me to be perfect in that love, because it wasn't meant for me to do it alone.
Yep.
So I want to be able to show God's love in my life, in my relationship, and in my children.
Mhm.
And when I don't, it hurts for me.
Mhm.
When I see a division in my house, it hurts. I pray.
Mhm.
I wonder. I question. And when I say I pray, I request to those within my house that I love, to the other gods among them, that we think about the way we acting, talking to one another,
Mhm.
that we build ourselves up instead of tear ourselves down.
It's key.
You know what I'm saying? It's no guarantee they're gonna listen,
Yeah, but I just think
but
we all have to be
but
respectful.
that's what it's about. Because we in growing we make mistakes, but like I tell the people, just because you made a mistake don't mean that you continue to make it.
Yeah. Don't be naive.
You know, I tell people all the time. They say, "Well, yeah, but you can't live without sinning." God said, "All have sinned," and I said, "Why do y'all keep using that?"
It's an excuse.
The scripture said, "All have." He's trying to tell man that all have done wrong, but have is a past tense.
Yeah.
He come along later and tell you all don't continue to do wrong.
Just because you do wrong doesn't mean you have to continue.
The only reason that you continue to do wrong is that God ain't in you. And when I say God ain't in you, I mean the spirit of love ain't in you.
Yeah. Just you want to do what you want to do. Don't get me wrong. I feel like all of us have that point in our
That
lives
spirit of
where
love ain't in you. And I know it's in me because there's times that I'm tempted to do evil for evil. But the love that is greater than me, that's in me, it stops me from doing evil for evil. It allows me to put that thought behind me. You know what I'm saying? It, I hear it saying, "Get behind me, Satan," because what you speak come from man and not from God. Because man is evil in all he do.
hmm
Man don't want to do nothing the way God says. So it lets me know that's man speaking in my conscience right now. That's not God. Because what you want to do or what you're trying to get me to do is bringing division.
it's a constant battle.
Always.
Every
Yes.
day is a
Yes.
new day.
Yes.
It's a day for you to just choose love, to choose how you want
Right.
to be.
And you know what the battle is most?
Or,
Within your own house.
oh, it's with yourself. It ain't even about the house, but you could say the house is
You
you.
are the house.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
I mean. It's just
Within your
like
own house.
you every day you have to choose how you want to be.
Man.
And the days that you don't
and
choose,
the tempter. I'm not talking about the evil nature that's in you. I'm talking about the tempter that comes along and tempts you.
that's gonna rally you. That's the thing that's having you when you think about something and it's like, ooh, I could do this, and it's gonna stay there until you make a
Do
decision.
you know who the tempter is? The
Oh,
tempter is the lust that is within you.
temptation.
Yeah.
That's why it's love and
It's
lust.
it's 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 the things that you desire that are really not of you, but you want anyway.
You don't know, and I think what a lot of
Yeah, you
people.
know.
No, what I'm speaking on what you don't know is that you don't know the opportunity. Like when you have nothing and then you end up getting something, or you coming from the bottom and then you come up, and now you come into a situation where you're getting a lot of attention, you're getting a lot of fame, you're getting a lot of money, whatever. Now you. Some people lose sight, and when you lose sight, that's when the
You know
most.
why they lose sight?
Well, you in the world that you in the world right now.
They lose sight because they become lovers of money.
You in the
Aesthetic,
world.
aesthetic, right,
When
right.
you in the world, like
They step into that world.
yeah, but it's and the thing is that a lot of people. I was in it, so it's
Yeah,
like I
yeah. We
understand
all
how
have it.
I understand how it can be, and it can just distractions can take over because at the same time because like I know like a lot of times a lot of things I've done in my life like I'm now thinking back on it like and really feeling proud of things I accomplished, but at the time I couldn't really think about it, like it happened and I moved forward because life is just going too fast for me. And until you actually slow down and really just appreciate life for itself, like waking up, Waking up and seeing the sun is probably one of the most beautiful
You
things.
said slow down. Scripture says, be still.
Stillness is key.
Be still and know that I am God.
Stillness is key. Solitude is important. You have to be able to sit in silence with no distractions, no phone, no
Be
music,
still and
no,
know that I am God.
and be able to hear their voice.
And right, that I am God, that good and that evil force is within me. Now I must make the choice of which force I want to be seen.
How powerful you trying to be?
Me?
That's just in general.
Oh,
Like,
I was
when
gonna say,
you,
I'm trying to go to the top. I'm trying to go to the, look, I want to go to the top where the Most High exists.
you want
I want to
the
go to
highest
the
power.
throne, to the highest one. I want to go to 9, not 7. 9. You
Get
feel
the
me?
9. For real. I feel
Man,
that.
I know where I want to go.
I feel that. And the thing is, what I understand is like, chakras is a real thing. I always say we know we got energies, and they put names on things, and I think you have to do your research. But I understand like where I fall into lust at when it comes to my chakras, and I find myself, and I know when I'm at my third eye. I know when something is feeling blocked, as far as when I don't feel like my voice is being heard. I know when I'm feeling emotions and I'm probably hurt, and it's probably in my heart. You know, when you have all these sexual desires, and it's coming in the sacrum where you when you want to act out. That's just the lust. This is the lust. This is the temptation.
Right, and I feel you on that. The great thing about me, I'm older,
Mhm.
so I'm more mature in that area.
Of course.
Now, some of us don't grow into maturity in that
Nah,
area.
like it
You
takes
know what I'm
time
saying?
for a lot of people.
Some of us that's my age,
Nah,
it's,
for real.
it still ain't grown in that area.
But also for
Right.
me, it's like it's nothing like I'm saying that you got to do. But a lot of people, and I talk about life experiences. A lot of people haven't experienced life. So when I mean by this is like when you haven't experienced life, and then you get the opportunity to live your life how you want to. You don't have no direction.
Right.
You don't have your parents on you. You're here now. You can live your life. You're in another place. You may be in another. Now you get to see who you are. Like what kind of like what God are you? And you don't really understand it unless someone is telling you that yo, hold on, like you're a God yourself. Like you got to carry yourself that way. They're teaching you something else that's coming from outside. But you do speak from outside. You do gravitate. You do manifest things to come to you. But
Yeah.
you have to speak it first inside of you,
And
outwardly.
and I won't say so much as they say. Um, we do speak things into our life. We do gravitate things to come to us, but some things come to us because they sent.
Of course,
You know,
nothing's just a coincidence.
right, right, and everything is sent for a reason, either good or evil.
Yeah.
Them the only 2 reasons.
How
So-
else are you gonna grow?
Right.
You gotta be.
But we don't understand that because a lot of times we'll look at something that was sent to us. It's like even in our relationships, bro. We think we created these. We think we found these persons. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know them persons until we were sent or they were sent to us.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? We didn't know we was gonna be with that person until they were sent to us and we got together with one another. And the spirit that brought us together, we wouldn't have never thought would have.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? We never stopped to ask ourselves, what brought us together?
You have to, though.
Why was the reason for bringing these spirits together?
People don't want to question nothing.
You see what I'm saying? And then we move in ways that are not connected with that spirit that has connected us with the people we need to be a part of. Because you got to remember, it says something like this. A man make many plans, but it's the Lord who directs his path. Right?
No, of course, you can't. No matter how
So-
much you got plans, that shit ain't gonna work.
So no matter what we plan, in the end,
Mhm.
it's the Most High over our spirit
Yeah.
that directs our path. That's why I tell people I don't make no promises because I don't know what tomorrow gonna hold. I don't even know what the next second gonna hold. Shit, I'm looking right here now, right now. I don't know what's gonna happen right here, right now. Just like I didn't know that dude was gonna come out from behind that building with that dog. You see what I'm saying? I have no power over it.
Mhm.
So when we understand that we have no power, the only power that we have is the choices that we make and the things that come to us are sent to us to help us grow into the right people that we're supposed to be. Our purpose is to learn how to walk and live in love. Because let me tell you something. When the world unite with the lovers,
Mm-hmm.
you know they can't unite with the lovers until they become lovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when peace will come to the whole world.
It's a long way from now.
No, it's closer than you think. You know why? Because the great war is getting ready to happen. It's right around, it's right around the corner. All of the kings are meeting right there
That doesn't
in the
change.
Middle East.
That doesn't
And
change
all
the
the
fact.
kings are meeting. And you know what's going to happen to all them kings?
What?
They're going to lose their power right there. They're going to lose their mighty, well, most of them going to lose their, those that's there going to lose their lives. Those that's far away going to have to go into hiding. So the system is going to fall. This system, this world that we know, not blowed up, kaboom, and non-existing. When I say gonna fall and don't exist, it's not gonna exist as we know it anymore.
Yeah, of course.
It's a new world. Now, when the new world come in, the point is who's gonna be the teachers in the new world?
Teachers are being developed now.
That's right.
The teachers are being developed now. The people that are being put.
They're already there.
Your purpose is being driven. Your purpose was like you said before. Like for me, I can tell you straight up and down. Like Rare Heart, me wanting a nonprofit organization to help people happen at 5 years old. I knew this at a young. I knew this as a baby that this is what something I wanted to do, and for it to fast forward later in life and actually do it and actually see the lives that it helps and actually hear people tell me, just about like, bro, you embody what Rare Heart stands about, just giving love and positivity.
Yes.
When it comes down to that, you'll see it. So I see a lot of great things that's going on with people that they got going on and what they're pushing. As you said, like it is gonna fall where everything's gonna come crumbling down. It's not gonna be how you think it's gonna be.
Right,
It ain't
right.
gonna be this whole. It's like how 2K was. Like when 2000 came, they said everything gonna shut down. We were looking. It was like, oh, it's in the scriptures. You got to see it. This, then, the third, and as soon as it hit, we was like, what's going on? Like, what we doing? Like how? So it's not like you got to say you got to take.
And that's what I be trying to get. I know when I say it, sometimes people think like, "Damn, they mean the end." No, the system is what's going to end.
Yeah, it has to be, and it's gonna, and you're gonna see, and as you see now, you see the division, you see who wants the division, you see who wants to come together. Like now, you have the time to, but also like I said, like in this time, there's so much money being made, so it's like.
But see, that's what's gonna get us off the path.
That's
going after that money.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Because you're right, it is a lot of money to be made. And that money is keeping us off the path because that money is keeping us disconnected. Because the love of money will make you lie, steal, cheat, do whatever you can to get that money. So if you chasing that money, you ain't walking with me no way. We're not going the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. Do we need money? Yes. To build the kingdom that I want to see, it's going to take money. But the thing is that it's not going to take what we don't already have.
You don't have to do it in a. When it comes to money and you're building up something and you're getting people together, you're not taking the money to just take from them for yourself. You're taking the money to do something for the people. For everybody, for everybody, not just a certain group, not just a particular race. For everybody that could be.
Everyone got to receive the same proportion. Nobody get no greater proportion than the next one. It's the same, because if I give you a greater proportion than this one, now you're gonna feel.
You're gonna feel one. Now we already created the vision because you feel like I like them more.
Already.
It ain't the situation.
But wait, I thought we all got our money in the pot together. Why they get more than I'm getting? Because they shouldn't be. This ain't my money. This is our money.
So it has to be. So
If
that's
it's
what.
my money, I can do what I want with it, but it's our money. We created this together. We did this together, and we did it for a purpose. The purpose was to build the kingdom so that we can be in our own stud fast place, in our own compound, not worried about our children, at the same time creating the atmosphere that we want in our kingdom.
Hmm.
You know, because I'm still trying to build that kingdom, bro.
You have to.
I ain't never gave up on building that.
You
Look,
should, no matter how long it takes.
I looked at a video today on YouTube, and I was watching the youth, and I looked to see when it was 16 years ago when they made that video.
Mhm.
Sitting there in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with the youth. They ain't youth now. These are grown men with their own families, and their childrens are graduating and stuff, getting ready to have children. These are grown men who wasn't. They were youth when they got around me, and I'm still connected to them.
Mhm.
We don't talk like we used to. We don't do the thing because we're grown. We're going. You know, we got our families.
Yeah.
But but through the 16 years, they've stayed connected. So it must be something within me to touch that spirit.
Mhm.
You know, these are young men that I say they're my protectors. See, that's why I tell people I need my body. When I say my protectors, I can go there and they ain't finna let nobody do nothing to me. Right away. Like, dude, wait, you don't know who that is? No, dude, back up. No. And willing to lay their life on the line for me. I don't have to say nothing. There's places I can go in Texas, same thing. Places I can go in Illinois, same way. You know what I'm saying? That love, that respect, that's one of the greatest things it is. I tell people today, I don't have a fear of going nowhere because everywhere I go, the people can see the love in me.
Mhm.
And then whether I speak the language, whether I'm like the hood, whether I'm from there or not, the love in me, that's accepted everywhere I go. And I know it sounds crazy, but it is. It's what's helped me, man. I lost my parents before I even thought about even becoming. Well, no, I was already thinking about being a man. I was trying to be a man. But I lost mine at 12 years old, bro.
Both are just your mom.
I lost my mother. I lost my dad when I was 23. He got a chance to see a couple of his grandchildren.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, all the elders in my family are gone.
How was that?
And the elders in my family, well, I'm the elder now. I'm the eldest.
Well, like what I mean is like at 23 years old, at 12 years old, you lost your mom. When you lost your sister?
I lost my sister in 1968.
How old do you think you was at that point?
About what? I guess about 22, 23. I lost my sister around the same time I lost my father.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So to think about this, when you think about it, you lost your mom at 12. And today we were just talking about at work, like how much a mom is so important. We come from our mom.
It's very important, very important. I'm still connected to my mom was everything to me. My mom, listen, before my mom left, you know, I got a job. You know, when I come up, you can go to work at an early age. I put my age up to 16 and went to work at Pixie and downtown restaurant. And I wanted to help the family out.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a man, be a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. I want to grow up, help mom and them, and then I want to find me a wife and start my own family.
Mm-hmm.
But I never imagined that I would be away from my mother, you know, because at the time that I came up, when you got married and started your own family, you didn't move right across the street, or right down the street, or right around the corner. You never moved out the community. 5 years, usually I'm headed back home.
So
I mean, I stayed, which I never do.
at 23 years old, though, let's just say 23, you lost everybody that was almost like
They missed something.
yeah, or like this authoritative figure. Like for instance, you
Yeah.
lost your mom, and then your sister became like a mom to you, but she was doing that.
Yeah, she was
And
always
then
like a mom.
and then at the same time you lost your dad, you end up kind of either before a little bit, before a little bit after you lost your sister.
Hmm.
So now you're a 23-year-old man, and you're married at this time. I want to say, and you got your first child.
I had my first child at 20.
Okay, so you already had it. So your child's like 2 years old, and now you
Well,
lost.
no, let me change that. I got married at 21.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first child at 22
Okay.
because right after we got married, she became pregnant and we had a child the next year.
Okay.
That was my oldest. That's my daughter.
What was your thoughts at that point? Like what for you in this moment at 23, got a child, you're married. What's life? Where did the Black Panthers come in at? Where did the direction of
The Panthers came in when I was 12.
okay,
Um, young boy, because my brother was 6 years older than me. During the time I come up, everybody wanted to be like their big brother.
yeah,
So, everything my big brother do, I wanted to do, or either he took me to let me see. Even in Islam, when I studied under them, it was because of my brother. He was Muslim,
hmm,
so he would take me with him on the Sabbath. Right there to the temple, right there on Stony Island in Chicago. You know, and I studied with them how you should eat and all that. And it's funny because when I think about it, I believed a lot of that. But now that I'm old and I study on my own and stuff, um, I found out that they was just using it the same way that the world uses it to keep power over the people,
mm.
just like they do today.
So now as you are venturing, what is your mindset? Like what is your at this point at 2023? What is your mindset right now?
When I was 23,
If
when I was 23, my mindset was world. I was of the flesh. I was of the world.
when did it
I was just like Paul said. I was the worstest of sinners. I was the worst of worst.
So when did it change for you? When did you started to? At what point in your life, or what particular thing happened to you for you to be like, I'm not living right?
I mean, I always knew that.
Okay.
I always knew I wasn't living right. That was never a doubt. I knew the things I was doing was wrong. It's just that I had this desire in me because I liked what it brought me. It brought me the power over people. Um, it wasn't even about the money. The money, I blow more money than I saved because I would use the money to get the people to do the things I want. I know as long as I gave them a little bit and fed them a little bit here and a little bit there, they're gonna do what I want. They're gonna come to love me and
Just because you got money.
just right. So the money gave me the power and the leadership in the community, which is why I sold the drugs like I did. I didn't sell the drugs because I liked it. I knew I was killing my people. There was no excuse about it. But I was more in tune with the money and what the money could bring me than I was in tune with my people and what I was doing to them. I wasn't in tune with truly the love of my people. I didn't have no knowledge of self. I didn't have no knowledge that my people was me and I was my people. You know what I'm saying?
When did this change? When did you start getting the love for the people? Like what shift?
I had love for my family. I just didn't have love for people outside of my family.
But when did that happen? When did that happen for you?
That happened years up the road.
Okay.
I was the protector of the family. I was the one that they called in no matter where I was at. I would fly in or drive in and take care of the situation and leave again because nobody knew me.
So when did the organization come about?
My organization came about back in 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
How that started about?
Um, Going to prison, spending time in solitude, having time to meditate and really think about my life, sit back and look over my life, seeing my mistakes, questioning myself, the God in me.
How long you spent in prison?
5 years.
How was that for you? What would be something that you'll take
I was
from
the
that?
head in prison.
So
I was
was
one
it
of the leaders. I was the black head. I was in North Florence. I became the head when they first opened up North Florence Yard to the men.
so what does that mean, you being the head?
I mean, I gave the orders. I was the leader. That means people moved the way I told them to move. Then they moved without my okay. Then they do nothing without permission from me. I was the
How did that feel for you in that moment? Think about you in prison in a place that you don't really have control, but you have control in a sense.
I had control. And the guards knew that because the guards know who the leaders are. You know what I'm saying? I was chose to be the leader. I didn't choose myself. I didn't fight for being the leader. I just come in at the right time. The people got to know me. The people liked the way I carried myself, the things that I speak. I used to go against all of the so-called Christian and Bible believers that they just sitting out on a bench like we sitting, right? And I would challenge them, about the things they say. So the people that walked around the yard in the prison, they would stop, listen, stuff like that. I would go to the different Bible studies and shut them down. Dude, they literally would run me out. You know what I'm saying? I even had, I had them literally want to tear up things. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because when you think about it, it shows you the falsehood. Anyway, to make a long story short, so that's what helped me to become a leader because I was one that was liked by all the different, because I went to prison here in Arizona. Arizona is not like where I'm from. Where I'm from is gang related. Here is nationality. If you're black, you hang with the blacks. If you're Mexican, you hang with the Mexicans. If you're white, you hang with the whites. Simple as that. I don't care if you know them and y'all hang together outside. While you in here, you hang with your home. That don't mean that y'all can't speak if you're walking past each other like, hey, you feel what I'm saying? But ain't no hanging out. Ain't no like, hey man, I'll meet you over here, we're gonna sit and chicken. Ain't none of that. No. So for me, having time spending with God, looking at everything around me, for me, it taught me that we could walk in unity. Because I seen unity in there for 5 years. And if we could do it in there, why we couldn't do it out here? That's what made me start the organization. Because I was already in God when I went in. I think it was just God's way of slowing me down, putting me on a different road that I was headed down. Because even when I was doing wrong out there, I was still in the God. I would have my Bible with me. Everybody knew that. You know what I'm saying? I just hadn't come into full knowledge of it. And when I say I hadn't come into full knowledge, I hadn't come into full understanding enough to walk away from the things that I was doing that was destroying the people that I claim I love.
Yeah.
I was walking in foolishness. I was blind to the truth.
When did you see that organization come to a place that you knew you was moving? You was moving, you was progressing. You knew that you was
6 months after I opened it.
Why? What particularly happened?
Well, I used to go out every day with flyers and stuff like that and talk to the people trying to get them to understand who I was and why I was there. And they had their doubts. And even the drug dealers who was all around, because I was put right in the heart of everything. My business. I owned a building right there, so I took the building that I owned and made it into the organization. And I just happened to be lucky enough to have a building that was on a commercial street. So it was easy for me to do that.
What was the significance about the commercial street?
Because if it's not commercial, there's certain things you can't have on certain streets. You know, you can't sell or nothing. Like I open up a profit and a non-profit. Things I wouldn't have been able to do if I wasn't in a commercial. But I was in a commercial area, so I could open up businesses. I could have shows. I could do a lot. Like we had next to me was a big restaurant. A brother owned it that I knew who liked me over the things I was doing. So he allowed me because he had his lot was as big as what you see here.
Mm-hmm.
So he would allow me, because he had a gate on it, he gave me the keys to it. He allowed me to go in there and fix it up where I could throw the things for the people. You know, I remember the one time I went around through the community and got all the people all the businesses to donate. Because I wanted to throw a back to school party for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So all the places that they told me they wouldn't donate, them was the main places they donated.
Why they told you they couldn't donate?
No, they told me they wouldn't donate.
Oh, okay.
This is what the people was telling me. So
okay.
They had been going there. They don't never be able to.
Yeah.
But when I went, they gave right away not only money, but supplies and stuff like that.
Resource.
And I asked them why, because of what I heard, you know. And they was a corporate, so when one gave, that whole corporate gave. That means no matter what store you went to, because one thing about the Arabs when they come in and they buy one of them gas stations, it's corporate.
Okay. What's the difference?
They all working with one another as all family.
Mm-hmm.
They all connected to the other stations just like that too.
Yeah.
So when one make a price change, they all
make a price change.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do nothing unless it's agreed among them all.
Okay.
That's how connected they are. So I asked them, I said, well, bro, I said, what make y'all give me? You know, I mean, I used to be, I'd be on them. They said, no, brother. They said, one day, I remember you was around here and this brother was giving us a problem in the store. And it wasn't us he was giving a problem to, but he was creating the problem outside. And you come up and you just like disrupted the problem. You like, you know, you pulled the brother to the side, started talking, and you know, when you finished, it was all calm and stuff. And I like the things you said to the brother. You know, they said, so that's why we help you, because we see what you do. I had begun to do a lot of things in the community, but I was doing them out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
And I was doing them because that's the way I didn't know nothing about running an organization. Bro.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was also watching other leaders and gathering little bits in here from them and there, you know what I'm saying? Getting their information. I never let them know I didn't know, you know, but I didn't. So as I went, I began to do and ask questions. I would get information. They didn't take too much of a liking to me. 6 months later, I never forget, I needed some stuff. They came and brought it to me. Told me no charges, man. I told them why you wanted to help me explain, because of all you do in the community. We know you for us. We got a lot of, this is exactly what they told me. They said, bro, we got a lot of leaders out here. We done had them for a while. They talk about they for us, but they ain't for us. They ain't doing nothing for us. They don't tell us nothing. Or they run their business and they start pointing to them and stuff like that, you know. They even had one of the preachers who had a non-profit organization up there I went to ask them to help me get going, stuff like that. Well, brother, you're a revolutionary, maybe you can help me. You don't know, I'm retired. I'm like, hey, you retired from being a revolutionary. You ain't dead, so how you retire from being a revolutionary? I've been a revolutionary all my life, and until we get right and get it perfect, I'm gonna stay a revolutionary. I'll die a revolutionary. Because I love my people. But he done took the money that he done got from the people and took the organization and bought a dentistry that his daughter now owns and runs.
Mm. You know how they go. That's what I mean by the money, man. Are you doing it for your people?
Right. And I tell people all the time, if they're doing it for the people, they don't have control of the money.
Yeah.
If they got
No.
control of the money, and if the things they doing are selfish reasons, it's not for the whole. Y'all ain't
Not
got
at
no
all.
business. Y'all got to cut them loose. Y'all got to walk away from them.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Hmm.
But my organization became what it was because um, I began to reach out, get help for people who needed help, help them with their bills and stuff like that.
What's
Help 'em
the
financially.
What's the mission?
My mission
Yep.
was to create unity.
Okay.
It's still a mission
Yeah.
to create unity within the black community. That's the whole design. But we don't have a black community. So it's now just to create the unity within the righteous, within the kings and the queens of God. Because we're all gods, but all of us ain't kings and queens. Well, yeah, we are. It's just some of us are fallen kings and queens, ruthless kings and queens. Some of us are righteous kings and queens.
Hmm. Okay.
I belong to the righteous.
Hmm. So going back to the Black Panthers, how was that for you? What was things you experienced? What was the things that?
I experienced all of it. I was in the 60s. I experienced it all right there on the west side of Chicago, um, right there in K-Town. You know, I experienced the hate from the YT people. The I was there when they created the breakfast.
What you mean the breakfast? Ah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I remember this. I know. I think you know what you're talking about when you said breakfast. Yeah. Explain more though.
Where you think that come from now?
The breakfast?
The lunches in the schools and stuff.
Black Panthers.
Yes. You know they steal stuff from us black folks.
Of course, it is what it is. Yeah.
You know, because we wanted to make sure that the kids had food when they went to school. And here's the funny thing. I was one of them kids. I wasn't but 12 years old when I joined. I was a junior Panther. I joined
Oh,
as a junior.
they had like the Junior Panthers.
Yes, they did.
I ain't know that. That's hard.
Yes, I started out as a junior Panther. 12 years old, bro. I was a beast too. I was very serious about it.
Yeah.
But they was the warriors. We was the warriors. We didn't want to get up on the roof and do the people out and warn the people. So see, it was a different time then. We played the drums and stuff to warn the people and stuff. That was our way of talking to the community, letting them know when the police was coming in the community or anything was going on in the community. You know what I'm saying? We had the beats, we had the drums, we had it all, bro. I could never do the I always had to have someone do it. I could never do the you know, I could never do it. My voice was too deep. To this very day, I still can't do it. I get mad in hell because I love it when they do it because that was the call. You know, when you heard that call, wherever that call come from, you know to go that direction. You was in need. There was something happening that you needed to get there. So everybody knew that's where you go. They automatically headed that way. So by the time you got there, shoot, you had a whole crew there with you, you know. That's funny.
How was the when? Where we going on?
No, I was seeing something swinging and hanging out there.
When was the
From the car wheels.
when was the situation where you knew that like once the government started coming into it, like once they try to disrupt it, like how was that, and how was it when it still probably didn't, it may end it for the world, but I don't feel like it ended internally.
No, it hasn't ended even to this day. You know, like my brother said, you can kill a revolutionary. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can kill a Black Panther, but you can't kill the spirit of the panther. The spirit of the panther lives on to this very day. I know I'm one, and I know many others, from old to young.
Mm-hmm.
But even though that spirit is there, I think a lot of that righteous spirit has lost its way.
Okay.
Because the ones that come along and try to keep it going are in it for greed,
Okay.
for money purposes,
Okay.
for fashion, for show, you know,
No, you
excuse
good,
me,
you
for
good,
show,
you good.
for family, you know, they're not in it for love. They're not in it for the people.
I got
They're not in it for the people.
you. Okay.
So that's like I stay connected to them, but I'm not as strongly connected as I used to be. I don't get involved in a lot of their activities. I stay connected, so when they go to make the move, I know to be a part and lead my people out there.
So when did it started for you? At what point in your life did it started for you to really dig deep and really understand the different religions, finding God within you, actually reading, studying? Like when it became, I know you started in prison. Did it just
No, I didn't start in prison.
okay? When did that happen?
I started when I was 20, about 24.
So
I
how
didn't
old
go to
was you?
prison until I didn't go to prison until I was in my 50s, bro.
Mm,
I avoided prison. It's not that I wasn't doing wrong. I was just a fast move. I thought I was invincible, and I was, until I came to Arizona. And Arizona let me know I wasn't invincible as I thought I was. It took me down. I got big headed.
ego.
Man, I come with that Chicago ego, nigga. I'm taking charge.
Mm.
You can't go in another man's town and take charge, because they're going to get you out of there if they have to do it together. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can come and be a part and maybe be put in charge of some things, but you ain't coming to take charge. Not of what we own, you know, not of our city.
It's just interesting how much unity can always come together to take someone down, but not to build someone up.
Right.
It's very interesting. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
think about unity, you think about all these people that have been taken down. It could be division, but when it comes down to someone they feel like is a threat, they'll come together. They might not like each other at all, just to
Listen,
take you down.
we more unified than people make us to be. We may do crazy stuff against one another. You know, family does that.
Hmm.
But you also know that when shit hit the fan, family has a tendency to forget about all the wrongs that's going on in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
family,
yeah.
come together quickly.
That's very true. Well,
America, the people in America is that way. Shit hit the fan, they will come together.
yeah.
They will unite.
When we have to.
Yeah.
If we have to, we do.
And listen, it ain't got nothing to do with color. I know white militias, black militias, you know, they militias for their group, but they know when it come down to it, you got to either unite and fight with the ones who's fighting for the same purpose that you fighting for, or you gonna lose the battle, bro.
It shouldn't have to go to the last resort, though. We shouldn't have to wait till it gets to a point where it's like, oh, we need everybody to come together.
It's almost there now.
Well, yeah, of course, but it's just like, as you even see it now, you can see that we need to come together. But it's like,
They trying to start a war.
of course, why not.
Right now.
War brings money. War creates deception, destruction. It's gonna create
War creates
division.
power. War takes land. Everything.
Everything that comes
Yes.
into it. Like
Yes.
someone wants
So-
something.
And we're at war. So now that we're at war, and we know we've been at war for the longest. How do we create? How do we take charge? How do we fulfill our purpose? Because we at war against the enemies that's already at war. We never stop being at war with them. I think a lot of us forget that we're at war with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I say forget for the simple fact that number one, bro, we out here playing. We out here partying. When you're at war, who parties when they're at war?
Well, you don't know the war. If you're not listening, if you're not really tapped into what's going on, and a lot of us not. Like you're not really. The news, you know how the news.
News ain't gonna get
News
you
ain't gonna
nothing
get
but
you
lies.
truth. So it's like if you're not really just being in tune with what's going on and understanding yourself, then you don't know what is going on in the world. One thing you're really focused on is what you got going on. That's how a lot of people live their life. They only worry about what's going on with their life. They don't have empathy to think about what someone else is going through. What is going on in the world right now? What is exactly happening in front of your face that you're not really seeing? And you're blinding yourself to, and you're distracting yourself to with other things that's not really truly important, but you decide to do it because you don't want to know the truth. A lot of people don't want to know the truth, and because the truth is scary.
No, not so much of that. There's a lot of people. Listen, bro. There's a lot of people who know the truth and hide the truth.
Of course, but those are the people that. This is what they want. That's what they want. If you
Yeah.
know the truth and hide the truth, that's a difference. But if you don't know the truth and you're not even trying to seek or understand it, that plays a different part in your
Well,
life.
you know, most people would say, well, you know, your truth ain't my truth.
It ain't got to be. The truth is the truth. Like, what we talking about? The truth is the truth. Ain't no my truth, this truth. The truth is the truth. Like, what we talking about?
But you done heard that, right?
Yeah, like, yeah, my truth. I get it. Because sometimes
and I look at people, I say, and you know you're right. Your truth ain't my truth. 'Cause my truth is righteousness. What's yours?
So it's like, what do you truly believe in? I can't
and then,
say what is right or wrong, but you know what feels right to you.
See, that's the God in you.
You know what feels right to you. If something doesn't feel right to you, and you do it, and then afterwards you like, man, I shouldn't have did that shit. I shouldn't have did that.
So
Like,
go and repent.
so you know you did wrong.
Repent means just to turn away from.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with sitting down and telling yourself.
What you mean? I got to go to them and I'm not finna
No,
go.
you just go to yourself and really just listen, know what you did wrong.
Now, if you can, if it's a family member that you done stole some money, something from, yes,
That's just weird.
go and give that money back and give them a little and give them double, and tell them, hey, look, I made a mistake. I don't know why I did it. The foolishness in me caused me to do this. I know
Anybody that
it's
has
done, though,
everybody that has the idea to take from their family, from someone that's working hard, it just, family is everything. So everybody's working hard. So if your intent is to take something because you don't have less for someone else that already is working hard because you don't want to work for something, that says a lot about you as a person. So for the fact that you do that,
what
says
type
a
of
lot.
flag is that he's riding in the back of the flag? Because it looked at brown when he passed it, but I couldn't
It is
make
brown.
out. Yeah, I couldn't make out.
I don't know what the actual MO is.
Man, look, it took me a while. It was one riding around it with a Dixie flag. And for me, who I am, boy, it was hard. Every time I see that something, it'd be hard not to say nothing.
Of course, but you gotta
But I
live
used
peace
to say,
with yourself, like a lot
well,
of things.
I had to tell myself, that's not the reason I came.
Because like when I'm in Georgia and I drive down this highway, it's a Confederate flag that's hanging.
Yeah.
Everybody that passes it. But
Yeah.
it's like it's certain things we want to showcase, and for everybody's particular reason, you want to showcase that. I don't know your reason.
No, that might be their flag, and I can't knock it.
Exactly.
At least you showing me who you are.
And you're gonna show me from the beginning, and I appreciate that.
Right.
I know from the beginning who you are, so
right.
I can't expect anything different from you.
Right.
Why would I even? Because the moment that you decide to say something, you knew who they was. So why are you gonna say? You're gonna say something to stir it up. Now you're gonna cause destruction.
That's right.
Instead of just like, you know what? That's the whatever will happen with you, you'll be dealt with.
As long as they doing it over there with them.
Cool.
And
I ain't got nothing going on, man. Like
I can't change them. They know what they're doing wrong. Let them change this.
And that's the key. A lot of times. A lot of times we want to put ourselves in people's business, which you shouldn't. Like if it comes disrespectful to you and it comes in that way, okay, you have the right to address something.
Look, it's like even a good book. It tells you not to. If your brother is drawn away to sin, try to correct your brother. But don't go over there into that sin.
Because that's their territory. Their land. They house, whatever they did, they caught.
You'll get
they
pulled
money,
in.
Like,
babe, you'll lose
ain't no reason to do that, to step yourself out for something, because it's going to, at the end of the day, you're going to be in the wrong, because something's going to happen to you, because it shouldn't even happen. You shouldn't put yourself in that situation. A lot of things got to be avoided. But also, you can't be afraid to speak your truth.
Oh, no, I never been afraid. And I ain't never been afraid to go nowhere, but I know my reason for going. I know how to walk in dangerous territory. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to walk in dangerous territory.
It's one thing to be smart. You ain't gonna be dumb. Don't be dumb out here just walking places and not being aware. No, you got to be very observant where you going. You got to understand that.
I try to always be honest, even when my children tell you, it's just certain things you just don't sneak up behind daddy and try to scam, because daddy gonna swing before he look.
That's just what it is, though.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna react before
that's like.
I'll look later. They say, well, what about if it's just a bug? Like my daughter got me the other day, right? And she was messing with she was laying on the couch. I was standing by the couch, and she took her finger and stuck it in me like something was biting me, right? So when I felt it like something was biting me, the first thing I did was turn it like, what the hell? And I said, with my daughter messing with me, I said, girl, let's stop that. So my old lady looked at us and started laughing and said, ooh, you almost got it. I said, yeah, y'all know how I am. Y'all know I don't look, I just react first, you know what I'm saying? So she said, well, Daddy, what about if it had just been a bug or something? I said, well, then I would have just switched it off. I said, but I was ready to beat it down if it wasn't a bug. Because I was, look, she was laying down, and I can't, girl, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I'm glad I seen you before I swung. And she just laughed away, because she knows. And they do that to me just to mess with me at times, but they make sure they fall enough away. But it got her last night. She wasn't expecting her. She was laying on the couch, just wanted to mess with me.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. And I you know what? That's what I enjoy. That's love.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Man, that's what I miss. I miss the old family reunions and stuff. I miss family dude, I'm born and raised in Chicago. There were certain parts of town you can go on and it wasn't nothing but my family. Mm-hmm. You can go over there and just be just comfortable, because everybody that's so-and-so's family. That's so everybody finna mess with you because you family to so-and-so or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like 71st, you go on 71st over there in Chicago, 71st and Stewart, that's Southwest. I walk all through there because my family been over there for over 30-something years.
That's crazy.
And then it didn't show so much love and got so much respect that when I walk through there, I get the same respect that they get because of who I am. Because I'm connected to the ones that's already giving me respect. Now, if I go over there and do something crazy, then I'm going to lose that respect. They may not, but I am. Because they ain't finna bargain to sit up and talk with me like they will with the family that's been out there.
No, for real.
So, that I want to see that type of love. I want to see, bro, there's so many blacks coming here to
Arizona?
Sierra Vista.
I see that.
And I want to see us have a black party day,
Started.
black get together. This will be a great place.
Started.
You know what I'm saying? Veterans Park, another place. You know, I mean,
I just feel like
I'm not saying it ain't open for all people, but I wanted to represent us. They do things that we don't go to.
Of course.
They have benefits.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the it's just different here.
Yeah.
Like when it comes down to like,
Yes, it
like
is
I said,
different.
if I'm in the East Coast, I'm in South Carolina, I'm in Georgia, I'm in North Carolina, and we just gonna be like, you just gonna be like. But here you can see that black, and it might be, they may speak, they may, most likely they may not.
They'll speak, but let me tell you how they will speak. It'll be watered down.
Yeah, but it's like, and
It'll be blending in.
And I understand.
I don't understand hell that
I understand.
I am who I look.
No, I'm not understanding. I understand just being here and how it could be, because I know when I'm in the East Coast, it's totally different.
Yeah, I went to they invited me to their event, and then they asked me to speak, and I told them I don't want to speak, but they asked me to speak. And my wife and them, you know, my children, they was all a part of it. You know, this is our day, June 4th. So, you know, I got my uniform on. I'm walking in the utmost proudness of who we are. You know, my uniform stand out and make motherfuckers look. I know that. You know, it was designed for that, you know. And, but you have to be walking a certain way to wear that uniform. You can't just be doing anything, you know. But, when I got up to speak, was Kwanzaa.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to speak, you know, Kwanzaa got different parts of it.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to speak about the unification part. If I'm correct, I still got it. It's been a few years ago. So I'm the only one here in this uniform among all these people. And when I get there, since it's Kwanzaa and it's my first time going, I'm looking for a bunch of black folks like me there, right? And I walk up in there and I see about maybe 2 blacks with the mayor.
So
I see Mexicans. I see some blacks with some white wives and Chinese wives and Mexican wives. But I didn't see no blacks. So when I get up to speak, they want me to light the fire, light the candle and stuff like that. I didn't get up here to light candles. I'm gonna take all this bullshit. I don't do this. And I tried to explain that to him before I come. So he said, you didn't light the candle. So I said, well, here, give me the thing. I want to turn on one time. No, light that one. I said, what difference does it make? It's a certain order.
say religion. Say thing.
I'm not here to practice that. I'm here to speak on a subject. So let me speak to y'all. And I went to speak. Now, in my speaking, you got to remember, I'm a Black Power revolutionary. I'm not a church-going Christian. So I'm speaking of...
They should know that when they got you there. Listen, at any point in time,
so
if
I'm
you're doing
speaking
something,
about the unity of us, and I'm trying to speak to just a few blacks that are there about how we need to be united with one another, how we need to build ourselves up. And then I'm talking about what I've seen from being here. There's not too many of us. Why are we so separated from one another? Why are we so divided from one another? Why are we so afraid to connect with one another when all we have truly is one? This is what this day is about.
listen, what you did was what needed to be heard.
They didn't want me to come back and speak.
It doesn't matter about that because you spoke. You said what you need to say.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing wrong. I didn't say
no. the reason why they want you to come back because now you're inspiring the mind. If you're going to inspire the mind, that's going to lead to influence to something that they don't believe and something they don't want. Then they don't want it because the thing is,
No,
it's like
and that's when I found out the Maryland woman whose wife is from the hood, bro. She from up our way, so I know how you thinking. But thank God it's your wife. You don't think like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Uh, he's the mayor was raised here.
okay.
This is his hometown.
Mhm.
He went to the service and come back to his hometown. This is where he been all his life.
Of course, it's easier.
So right. So he don't see what
don't
we
know.
see. No.
He doesn't know. If you, the thing about it, one, at the time that you talking about here, I've been here for like maybe almost close to like 7 months now. 6 months, 7 months,
I
and
know,
I
I
don't
hate
really
that
see
time.
that many black people. So you gotta understand, like at his time, you can only imagine when he was growing up how it was here. So he knows how he orchestrates it from how he grew up. So that's how it is. He doesn't orchestrate it from a standpoint of outside knowing what it is to be black in a place that don't like you, don't want you, don't care for you. But you was in the military, so you understand that process of how it was for you. But instead of integrating that, you want to make it comfortable because you like to be likable. Because that's the reason why you got the position. Politics. Politics is about who likes and what you're gonna do. You're a pawn in this chess game.
That's right.
You're not directing nothing.
you
Because
not
if you're
di-
directing anything, you will see it.
You
You,
ain't-
you will bring it.
You ain't bringing no change.
You will
Not,
bring it.
You're not bringing no change for us that are black here in Sierra Vista. You're not bringing nothing to the community
Even
or to the neighborhood for us.
even to do that, even to I think it just says a lot just to try.
I went to them bowling alley. I asked the blacks that I knew at that time, getting them all over that way. I walked around. I used to wear my uniform. I walked around. I'm asking, what you feel we need? What you feel we need as a black people here? They talked about the stores, the restaurants, and all that. I even asked the black restaurant owners and stuff like that, the sister who now owns the restaurant over there. I went to every black person that I could find and asked them what they feel that we need here in Sierra Vista for us as a black people. I said, we have nothing, no benefits, nothing to go and take our children to that represent us. And yet you got the Buffalo Soldiers right over here who's black.
Yeah. But that's my whole thing.
But they're not even black. No. They're black, but the person who running ain't black.
But that's my thing though. Like it's just like we tend to lose the things that we have. And now it's just gone and someone's doing it, but they're not doing it in a sense to
To bring change.
to bring the change or
Or
to
to
unify
make, or to make a
to
difference.
to just even if it's a situation, even if you do it just once a year, you bring the community up together to know that the Black Buffalo Soldiers was here.
They still here.
That's how you do it.
They
You
still
don't
here,
you don't
but
you don't make it non-existent, knowing that everything that y'all say is about the Black Buffalo Soldiers. This is the whole thing they know about this place. So, but we lose the history, and that's what they want. They want to erase the history, reading history, but you have to
we
speak
here,
up.
but they don't want to understand. Like we here in Sierra Vista because of them black soldiers.
So,
And then them black soldiers, the black organization, what are y'all doing to bring more to your community, to help those that's in your community that's like
but
you?
everybody, I feel like everybody that's
They
like
like-
everybody like that is to themselves. Like it's just like when they here, and I feel like people come here for that. I come here not to be bothered. I come here to mind my own business, live my life, and that's how they live. And that's okay. Like that's how they want to do. But there's more to this city that could be done. But it will take somebody to do that, and you're gonna need people. So it just depends on that. It's getting hot.
Morning, guys.
Morning,
Hey, how's
morning.
it going? How's it going? Who cut her tail?
She was born without it.
Oh, really?
Aussie Shepherd.
Oh, she looked like I had a Siberian Husky look just like her, just the eyes were different colors and stuff.
Yeah.
But same color, everything.
Yeah, she's part border collie too.
Okay.
But Aussie Shepherds don't have tails.
Oh, I never knew that.
I didn't either.
But I see that shepherd instinct. She
Yeah.
watches. I love Shepherd is one of the most. That was my first dog, so I love Shepherd.
She's real good.
Yeah, they're very obedient,
Gentle as heck.
very obedient. They love kids, but if they spirits get like on a negative, watch that person.
Oh, she doesn't pay attention. If she has a feeling about somebody.
Yeah, you can tell.
And they always ask me if they got kids, can we come over? And I always tell them, walk up real slow, let her sniff your hand.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Right, because you don't know you. Take care now, you too, man. Have a good walk. That's right. That's all I used. People used to come and tell me, your dog bite? Yeah, they got teeth. You know.
I hope they bite. I
You
don't
know,
think they'll bite you, but
yeah. What you meant to ask, would your dog bite you? I don't know. My dog don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what my dog gonna do when you come up here. You might be the wrong one. He might send something I don't send. Is it okay if I pet him? No. I don't want him to get to know you like that either. You know what I'm saying?
let's get on back, man. I can make lunch, man.
Yeah, I ain't ate
I
nothing.
ain't all day. All
Well,
day.
I do think you want to introduce yourself before we shut this off. You ain't got to. Just let them
To
know.
love and to be loved is one. That's the point. There you go.
And how do we love and be loved among us? See, until we learn how to love us, we can't truly love another.
Exactly.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying there's anything wrong with loving others, but you got to learn to love yourself first. And you don't love yourself if you don't love those who look like you. Peace and love. We out of here. Hope you enjoy it. Man, you had me out there a good while, bro.
I had you out here, you had me out here.
Okay, we just had each other out there. That's on, yeah. I'm still recording and listening to all that. There you go. They used to me by now, though.